Welcome back to Thundersport GB at Brands Hatch. It's the Bike Sport News Superstock 600s Championship. Very finely poised and highly competitive stuff. It's a great racing prospect, Steve.
Yes, now with Nick Anderson just 7 points ahead in the championship thanks to that fall in race 1. He must finish this race. Paul Wishart is the man in question and he's 7 points behind on 4th, but away from the line they go, and it's the cool car bike of Tommy Mountain that looks to have got away quickest, and Nick Anderson's got the inside line.
That's a very determined start by Nick, but it is Tommy Mountain who carries the speed around Paddock and ought to have the line into Druids. The wide line into Druids never used to be favoured, but they have enlarged the runoff there, the exit over the last few years, and it's a much safer line. It's very tempting, it's very quick, and not quite such a big penalty to be paid if it all goes silly. But Tommy Mountain comes out in the lead, the youngster just ahead of a very determined Nick Anderson. Nick, after the interview you did with him this morning, slightly nervous, I thought, but he looked less nervous somehow before this race, having made the mistake and gone off earlier on. His nervousness seems to have just been replaced by steely determination. Well, it's unlike Nick to crash, isn't it? And when you've got a 27-point lead, you're in two minds as to what to do in a race. Now, he knows what he's got to do. He's just got to fight it out, and he's up there just ahead of Paul Wishart. They've got Russ Ashman on the Kawasaki there for company, but neither of them can really afford to let Tommy Mountain get away with this. Tommy can mathematically still win this championship, and would you really count him out with the double points race coming up at Oulton Park? No, on his day, he is as quick as any and quicker than most. And Tom Meehan there in 5th place, just would love to get a little bit more pace to get in amongst this leading bunch. And nobody's going to get in amongst Tommy Mountain. He's absolutely scorching away at the front of this. So in terms of the championship, well, it's all about these two at the moment. Nick Anderson there in 3rd place. Paul Wishart, the young Scots rider, just ahead of him. That's where those 7 points lie, and it's the other way round. Anderson 7 points ahead of Wishart at the moment. You've got to say that you have to hope for all this. That's not the quickest way around Graham Hill Bend. That was John Blundell, I believe, that's taken a little off-track excursion. But yeah, you've got to hope for a last race battle for the championship, because if you recall, at the very first round, this race was epic with the likes of Nick Anderson, Tom Meehan. They're all in it, and Tom Meehan could even have a say in the championship just as yet. We'll have to wait and see. But so I'm personally hoping that it's not wrapped up at Oulton. Yep, Ross Ashman, another excellent ride for Ross. He seems to be improving every time we see him. He's up there into 4th place, and he's threatening 3rd. Tommy Mountain just with that slight advantage. Paul Wishart, now I'm just going to check the lap times this time round. I actually think I was looking to see whether Tommy made a bit of a mistake or whether Paul has put in a tidy turn of speed there, but it's certainly Paul Wishart much closer to Tommy Mountain this time round. Yes, that's going well there. They're all lapping very, very quickly. I mean, they're in the 48s, which is super quick on the Superstock 600s machine. We just saw a few shots there of Max Simmons, Jody Chalk, Kyle Wilkes is up there, Sam Thompson. So lots of improvements. There's Matt Shelcock, who was the pole sitter in the damp. There's Jody Chalk and Max Simmons, both on Triumphs, both former Super Teens. Yep, Jody Chalk has done the whole season, and she's looking more and more comfortable on this machine, and she's, you know, every time we see her finishing a couple of places nearer the front, she is making progress. And up the front, they're all still getting right down to it, as we see Sandy Dudgeon, number 19, just going around there. But at the front, those two have just broken away completely, Mountain and Wishart, for the win. Ross Ashman currently in 3rd position, and Nick Anderson, well, no, Nick Anderson's still in 3rd position, actually. Ross Ashman there, hunting him down for 3rd. So Nick, oh, and Nick's run wide into Druids. He doesn't want another fall. Oh dear, that could be costly, because he doesn't want to lose out on points either. Ross Ashman has moved up into 3rd, and Nick's down into 4th. It's Andy Dudgeon, who we just saw go through there, youngster over from the Isle of Man, and in the dry conditions, he's not actually as near the front as he might feel he ought to be. Certainly in the wet and greasy stuff, when they qualified, he was third quickest, and you have a feeling if it had been wet all weekend, he'd have been there or thereabouts. But last that flag is out, and this destination, this championship, well, nothing is done and dusted yet. My goodness me, if it remains the way it is, Steve, that's going to be really rather close, isn't it, between Wishart and Anderson?
Well, Wishart and Anderson will be level on points if things stay the same, and it doesn't look like they're going to change. Tommy Mountain, meanwhile, has made up a whole heap of points and is in the frame also. But yeah, level on points with 2 rounds to go. Right,
they've just got to get safely round the last couple of corners. Then Tommy Mountain on the Cool Cow Yamaha is going to stick this one under his belt. That is an excellent win for Tommy. Once again, the youngster does it. He punches the air. And Paul Wishart crossing in second. And he'll be thinking about the championship now. Ross Ashman, excellent third place. Nick Anderson, well, settling for fourth, I'm afraid. He'll have to. Tom Meehan was fifth. And Michael Cooper, that's another good ride from Michael. He gets up there to finish in sixth place. Tommy Mountain, though, the winner between him and then Paul Wishart and Ross Ashman. Paul Wishart level in the standings with Nick Anderson and not that far ahead of Tommy Mountain, all to play for still in Superstock 600s.